Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we've got a couple of replays for you. I'm actually going to be uploading 2 YouTube videos today as it is my day off and I have a break from work, so I'm finally able to make these videos. These 2 replays are a little bit older, so they're about 2 weeks-ish, I believe. So, the Skorpion G, I haven't made a video about it in such a long time, so I'm going to talk more about it. But first off, I'm going to tell you, I have quite the history with this tank. So, when I was a noob, when I didn't know how to play the tank, when I didn't know, what equipment to put on it, all that stuff, I actually used to be very much of a hater of this tank because of the gun handling, the aiming time, and the accuracy for me just wasn't enough. And with the low amount of hit points that this tank has, it makes trading very annoying. So, yeah, that's kind of changed, obviously, as this video will kind of show that. I kind of learned how to play the tank. I am semi-aggressive in it in certain situations, depending on what you can do. By the way, after this video, there will be only one more video that you guys will see me make with this laptop, which means that I'm going to be finishing my desktop here soon, hopefully. I'm waiting on the motherboard, which will come tomorrow. But everything else I did have to order a new PSU, if you guys saw that short, so it's here, and I returned the other one, and I also just decided to add the CPU cooling fan, so that'll be here as well, or that did come yesterday as well, with the new PSU. Anyway, back to the video. So, as you all know, this tank is just absolutely a beast. The gun on this tank is what makes it really, really nice. And the mobility isn't horrible either. The traverse, it isn't great, but the top speed and the forward speed is actually not bad whatsoever. And that, for me, I love fast tanks with good guns, because for those of you who know, I used to love just playing heavy tanks. But I found that if it's a lightly armored vehicle with no armor, but a really good gun, and I found that I love it. Like, that's how it is for me with the EBR. It's the same with the Brask, although the Brask I haven't, obviously I haven't, really mastered the playstyle of that tank. It's a lot harder to, and at least I think it's harder than this tank. And also, just those kind of tanks that have, that just have that kind of playstyle, like whether it's the sniping, you can play passive aggressively, which I'm still kind of trying to get used to. And, yeah, so on this map, of course, we have to snipe, we can't play aggressively, we'll just get farmed and eaten alive, we're pretty much free damage for the enemy at that point, so the most effective thing I can do, that at least I can do, is snipe. Other better players might say, oh, well, you can play aggressively here, that's totally fine, I accept that, but if you look at the mini-map right now, I'm actually going to zoom in here, if we look at the mini-map, if I try going here on the 1-2 line, I can't do anything, really, because I just have to sit down there where G1 is, which means that I won't be able to snipe there effectively, because I will get spotted. There's really no effective position other than at K1, and you don't really have any shots on the 1-2 line from sitting there at K1, K2, where our char is. Another thing is there's maybe one position too I could take later on, which is J7, so I'll be able to snipe the heavies on the right, but my chances of getting it a crossfire are huge, especially from the 4-5 line and on the heavies themselves as well, and anyone who else is also in the center there in the hill. So that's a lot more dangerous to play. It is playable, but I decide for now just best to stay here. I actually don't remember if I do move up or not. We'll have to wait and see. So our heavies are just kind of at a standstill right now. Same thing with our mediums. Like I said, there's not really a whole lot we could do. We just have to let the enemy kind of push a little bit, see if we can get some shots in. And yes, I am blue because on Mountain Pass, I was on the south spawn, and I was crossing the bridge, and I was in sniper mode, and I didn't see a Yutas in front of me, and I accidentally pushed him off, and he flipped upside down and landed on top and killed him. So yeah, I was blue for about 10 battles. So if you're wondering why, that's why. But I didn't get reported or anything, so, it was an accident. I'm like, oops, sorry, I messaged him. I'm like, sorry, didn't mean to do that. It was my fault, I wasn't paying attention, but, it happens, right? I've had it happen to me, so, You know, at the end of the day, it is just a video game. But anyways, yeah, like I said, this map is just very, very kind of not great, to be honest. Like I said, we can't really do anything right now. If I was a heavy, I personally probably would have tried to get a couple of other heavies to commit with me to try to see if we could move up a little bit on the 8 and 7 line, maybe. Other than that, I'm not sure what else could happen. If our 3 mediums on the west, if they work together, they could probably actually kill that SM VIII pretty easily, if I think at least. Excuse me. But yeah, so in case if you're wondering, in the beginning of the video, I forgot to hit record, which is why you missed the countdown timer. It's not a huge deal. Like, I know you guys don't need to see it, but I just like to show it for extra information, stuff like that. You know, just so you could see the battle itself. Because for some reason my tab wasn't working, so I wasn't able to adjust the team panels on the side. Something weird went with that. But then after this Christmas update, which is today on December 1st, that's the day I'm recording this video. It seemed to fix it because when I was recording the T30 replays, and I was able to adjust it, but with when I 2-marked EBR, for example, when I showed those replays and when I showed these 2 replays here that you're currently watching, I wasn't able to do it. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but it's just a funny little glitch. So yeah, I do plan on streaming. So what I'll do is for my very first stream, this is kind of a little bit of a spoiler, I will download every game that I've ever had, at least for PC. So I'll download this game on PC, I'll download Blitz, and then I'll download Farm Sim. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stream each game for 30 minutes. So I'll play a game for 30 minutes. You know, I'll play whatever. You know, like for example, if I play World of Tanks, then you guys say, hey, I'll do this tank, I'll play that for 30 minutes or whatever, or switch, you know, whatever happens. And then that was a missed shot by me. I fired too late. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stream each game for about 30 minutes. So it'll probably be a 2-hour stream. I'm not sure what day I'm going to do that because I don't know my work schedule. I also could have taken a shot there, so that was also my mistake. I didn't think that I had a shot there, but you know, you learn. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna kind of do with that. Is I want to stream each game for 30 minutes. So like I said, it'll probably be 2.5 hour stream. I will make an announcement on the channel about it. So I probably will make a video, like a YouTube short or something about it, and then, you know, just to announce it, get it out there. And also, I plan on announcing it on Discord as well. So if you're on the subscriber server, as always, the link in the description is there, so you can join the server whenever. It's where with all my subscribers and close friends and stuff like that I've known. And yeah, so if you want to join, link in description as always. I always leave it in case if you guys didn't know. If for some reason the link is invalid, just, you know, leave a comment. And I also did leave it in the about section on the channel, so it's there as well. Again, if that's also messed up, if it's expired, it shouldn't be, but if it is, just let me know. Anyway, I know that was a little bit delayed, but that was actually a really nice shot there on that 53 TP that we killed here. And we do actually hit that shot on the Vipera. What a shot. I was very pleased about that. So as you can see, our team was patient enough, and the enemy did get kind of bored, and that's when they decided to try to rush 1-2 line. I'm not sure why they did it so late. You know, they could have done that a lot sooner, but you know, who's complaining? You know, we got damage from it. That was a lovely high roll, by the way, too, on that T32. Just beautiful, nearly 600 in one shot. I actually have high rolled once to 602 in this tank. I can't remember what I shot and what map it was, but I do remember it was like literally a week ago or something. So excuse me. So yeah, like I said, I've enjoyed this tank ever since I've learned to, you know, be patient with it is probably the biggest thing, especially when you're aiming. Like, that's probably the key to playing this tank, if I'm being completely honest. By the way, these 2 games are back-to-back. I just want to let you know that. These are back-to-back games. I took a, I think a little break in between each one. I think I went to go get water and use the restroom or something. So if you see the timeline, it's like, well, it's 10, 15 minutes later. It's not back to back. Well, no, it is. So yeah, our mediums and looks like a tank destroyer as well. Is 2 tank destroyers, I'm sorry, are moving up on the 1-2 line. Look at how aggressive they are. Look at them go. Excuse me. I'm still getting over being sick. So now I'm just going to try to poke center here, see if I can spot anything. I think they actually are still up here. The T-32, I'm sorry, is tunnel visioning. We get a free shot into them. That brings us to our 3rd kill and just over 3,000 damage. So far, like I said, it's been not the most eventful game, but it has been a fair game. I actually do get a little bit quickie baby there by the tank next to me. And oh, it's the Sturv K. I'm sorry, I couldn't read it. So yeah, I'm just gonna see if the Sturv will take the shot. I don't want to lose hit points. He does take the shot, and he does fire, and I know the Centurion has about a 7-second reload roughly, and I am able to take him out for our 4th kill, leaving us at nearly 4,000 damage. And that's actually, I think, the most we're gonna get. I don't know if we hit any of our blind shots or not. I don't remember if we get the arty or not. Oh yeah, we do get the arty. And we do take him out for our final 5th kill and end on just over 4,000 damage to end the game. And then, of course, back to back, we got a nice little ace tanker there. Made some bonds as well, and we actually didn't get hit on those blind shots, unfortunately. We do get top damage. And now here's the real battle, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we are going to have a absolutely phenomenal battle. I do make some mistakes at the end here, which cost us the game. We don't lose. I'll let you guys figure it out. Yeah, as you can see, I'm running rammer, optics, and improved aiming. Now, the reason I have this specific setup is because I use the rammer for the DPM because this gun's alpha is already insane, and I don't, base it's like 12-second reload, and I think I got mine down to about 9.5 roughly with the skills and stuff. I have like a 4-skilled crew on this tank because I've played this quite a lot. For credits and stuff, and just for pure, just to have some fun. Yeah, the optics, I feel, with the food that I'm running as well, it makes me have max V range. Without either, I can't have max V range. It's like 410, I think, without it. And right now it's close. I think it's like 444 or 443, so it's really close with the food and optics combined. So for me, that was good enough. And it actually will pay off, as we can see, like, especially on a big map like this. We're obviously not going to be out spotting, ELCs and stuff like that. We're too big. We have no camo whatsoever. I actually think I have stationary. I think I have about 22% camo in this, or 26, something like that. I'll have to double check, but somewhere around there, which is pretty good for such a big tank like this. But that's the max that I've been able to do it. Again, and then of course for improved aiming, there's nothing else worth running. Because, like I said, the accuracy is good. It's 0.25 with the improved aiming, and the gun handling is just not good enough. Like there, for example, I feel like it is necessary to run that improved aiming. If I wanted to make the gun handling better, I actually can't add V-stabs to this tank because it's an open turret. Same thing with vents. I can't add vents because it's an open turret, so there's no options there. I actually did have improved rotation, but I didn't find it to be as useful. It kind of helped a little, but I feel like overall the improved aiming just makes things a little bit more comfortably when firing. Rotation, I feel, doesn't do that quite as much personally. But like I said, I've experimented with it. You guys can experiment for yourself. Let me know what you guys think. But that's personally, that's my explanation of why I like to run things that specific way. We do get a nice first shot there into the TNH. He decides to peek. We do get a nice little high roll there for 527. Beautiful. So now, like I said, like last game, we're going to be patient. We're going to let the enemy push, let them make the mistakes. I'm a little worried about the East right now because we don't have a ton of tanks to cover. One of their light tanks or medium tanks, they could just push up the 7 line on the north and spot that and kill that. They could clear that pretty easily, if I'm honest. And that's something that I was kind of aware of, that I was keeping my eye on throughout the battle. We actually do hit his gun mantle instead of the side of his turret. That was a little delayed aiming on my part. I could have fired half a second sooner and would have gotten it. And for some reason, Look at this. They have two. They have a medium tank. They have a super Pershing, and then they have this 53 TP here that are sitting right in front of me. I can kind of understand that because I'm guessing they have a light tank clearing. Like I said, I'm pretty sure they have a light tank clearing the 6, 7, 8, 9 line. Well, I mean maybe not the 9 line, but they are advancing. So I'm not going to peek because I'm just going to lose bleed HP unnecessarily. And our Yo does suffer that, as you can see. That's our Yo showed us a very good example of why it was a good idea for me to not peek that. There's too many tank destroyers that are sitting around G3, G4, and there's too much that we don't know where anyone is on the 7-8 line. So what I'm doing right now is probably the best decision for the time being. And as you can see, we are slowly losing east. We lost a couple tanks over there already. So now I'm just going to keep waiting to see if these two guys will poke. I'm not too worried about the guys coming to our left because we do have a Borzing there, and we do have a Sturv that I think are able to hit. He does peek again. We do track him. We get, once again, another high roll. Excuse me. And, yeah, so far so good. I can't really complain. I do track the super Pershing again. We do low roll, which is fine by me. We've gotten some fair rolls, yeah, so far so good. It's not too bad at all. I am gonna try to get a shot here in the AMX, and I actually do low roll again, but it's not a huge issue. Like I said, as long as I can kill him, it's fine. I do make a mistake here, and I do sit up here longer than I should have. I should have kept backing down, because then he got a free shot on me. We will see if that ends up affecting the outcome of the game or not. I honestly don't remember if it does, but we will have to wait and see. 07 keeps bumping me, and not a huge deal. We do find a little shot there on the AP AMX 30, and we do finish him for our first kill, leaving us nearly on 3k damage. The 07 does apologize. I was going to say something to him, but I just let it go, but he actually does end up apologizing. Which is, something that you don't really see, especially in this game anymore. Yeah, he was driving like a lunatic. I can relate, buddy. I can relate. If you ever end up watching this video, man, trust me. If you watch me play EBR, I'm the same way, man. Well, just in general as well, but especially in EBR. So far so good. We're holding the flank, which is really good. I do find a little pixel there on the 30, and I do take it. We do get a nice high roll that does bring us over 3k finally. Excuse me. We are... I'm sorry. That caught me off guard. That's why I'm laughing. Anyway, we do get a shot into him. And our heavies actually are kind of advancing, which is interesting because the Borzing has a crossfire on them, so I'm hoping that they're going to be safe for now. I'm hoping that our Borzing's watching and able to help as well. Unfortunately, they do focus, both of them. But our already just one shot at that Borzing, just beautiful. So yeah, the Borzing's there, so I'll know if the TNH moves up, so I can stay here. I'm gonna take a shot on the 30 because we actually do end up high rolling by 1 hit point. We do take a shot in return, but it's not a huge deal at the moment. Like I said, I'm not too worried about it. I am gonna try to peek here, see if I can get one more shot into him. Unfortunately, that is probably another mistake I made, was making that trade there. I probably could have let the 07 kill him instead of me wasting my HP. However, that does bring us to our second kill, and we are near 4k damage. We do have over 4k combined with the assistance, with the 330 or with the 388 assistance that we have. So now there's just 4 tanks left alive. I'm really hesitant to push right now, but I don't know where anyone is, so I kind of just want to sit back and see if something happens, because we do still have 7 minutes left, but at the same time, I want damage. I'm already at nearly 4k. I've had already a fantastic game. I do tell my team that we are able to push 1-2 together. We technically can, I believe, from what was going on through my head was, well, if we all take, let's say that, for example, we take the 2 line, right? We go straight down, and then we flank them from behind there. We cross over between J and H2, and then the RHM and whoever else can move up on the 1-2 line. We can box them in and farm them from there. Hopefully they won't be looking and peeking, otherwise we'll just bleed HP. But it was kind of late to do that. We've already lost some allies, which is really bad. So it's a good thing that I'm staying here. So I asked the 07 where the Waffenträger is, and he tells me he's around there. So that immediately tells me that that they're going to be pushing our base, our cap. And again, I do make a mistake here near the end that you guys will see that ends up costing us. Excuse me. I am so sorry about this, guys. I'm going to have to go get a drink of water before I make my T30 video, which will be right after this video. So I'll release two today, like I was mentioning earlier. But anyway, so yeah, anyway, that tells me that they're going to be coming on A line based off of the way that our allies died and based off of them not being spotted. So that tells me that there's a tank at D78, and that tells me that there is at least one, maybe two, maybe even the RD also is with them on that line. And also, what also tells me that is our RHM is there in the bottom left corner there. He's currently at J1, and he's about to head into K1. So, and he's not seeing anyone there. So that's kind of what kind of tells me. The only other thing that they might be doing is if they're just sitting somewhere in the middle of forest, like let's say between EF7 and EF9. Sometimes I like to sit in that area and hide behind the hills there. The only other possibility that they could do is sitting in the JK89 area, because there is hills that they can sit there. I actually do spot the TS5. I do get a nice high roll into him, and this is where I make the mistake, guys. This is where, kind of near the end, like I said, where I do make an oopsie, because I thought that the TS5 fell back, but he didn't. We do spot the Sturv S1. And I do not decide to take the shot at this time, because I just want to spot for now. I'm hoping the RHM can shoot him. He actually does miss. You guys let me know. Should I have moved a little bit and fired? Fired from a safe distance, or should I have just stayed here and spotted? You guys let me know what you think. I'm actually really curious here. We do end up getting the spotting. The RHM reloads, and the RD does splash him as well. So that immediately puts that 1,500 assist. The Sturv won't spot me, neither will the TS5, because they're both behind the hill, but because their gun mantlets are both behind their viewports rather, are behind cover. And that's how I know that they weren't gonna spot me. Their viewports are at the top of their tank in the center, and at the front end where the gun is. So not at the gun tip itself, but where the tank itself is. So wherever the gun reaches the end of the front of the tank, that's where the second spotting mechanic thing is, whatever you call it. The viewport is what they would call it. So yeah, just a little something there that I just some of that. If I hadn't have known that, I would have gotten spotted and probably died, to be honest. I don't think it changed the outcome of the game. I believe the TS5 was still there, and I actually am right about that. He actually is still there. I asked Artie to blind fire, and the reason for that is because if he hits him directly, then I will know exactly where he is, because that Artie shell will not hit the ground if it's a direct hit. So that's why I wanted him to blind fire there, because then I would know his exact position. I would just ask the Artie, hey, ping exactly where you shot. And so yeah. That's kind of what was my goal. I probably should have made that a little more clear to him, but, yeah, of course, the boring thing's like boring game. I'm like, well, yeah, we have, do you want to lose? We don't lose. Neither team loses, but we technically do, if that makes sense. I kind of just gave away the outcome of this game, but, who cares? So, yeah. Like I said, I'm not sure where everyone else is at this point, but again, we do know where the TS5 is. I actually don't remember if we found out where the RD and where that other tank destroyer was. I think it's the SMV, I believe, by looking at the image. But yeah, like this late in the game, I'm like, okay, what can I do? What can I not do? And, of course, I failed to accurately discover the outcome. I made a misprediction, and, yeah, I mean, RHM, this is another thing, too, that I hate. When people say, go kill their arty, Why can't you just go do it yourself, bud? You have a free shot to the 1-2 line. Why can't you do it yourself? I get that you're slow. Like, the Borzing is genuinely, like, less maneuverable. I'm the most maneuverable tank at the moment. However, I don't trust him to spot anything that comes over here, because the second he sees someone, he's going to fire and spot and immediately die. That's why I wanted to stay here. So, yeah, and I'm telling him, you know, you can go kill the Artie, but at the same time, you also don't want to be off alone. That's what I'm telling him in chat right now, as you guys can see. And because if we separate even just one of us, they can pick us off one by one. Like, this whole battle was a good example of that. If you paid attention to the East and the West, they did that bit by bit. And here is where I make my mistake. You guys, I'll let you guys predict it here. And you guys tell me what I could have done differently here, of course. I have an idea, which I'll explain once I die. There we go. So, perfect. So, I spot for the Artie kills him. And that does end up having us die for the game. Like I said, kind of a boring end to the game, but again, I'm the one who got impatient, which was my mistake. I should have expected him to stay there. What I should have done, I think, was gone around through the 1-2 line, maybe, and crossed all the way down if I could get the Borzing to commit, maybe. Or maybe it was worth me going alone and having the Borzing stay back with the Artie. I honestly don't know. You guys let me know what you think. The Artie does take another blind shot. I'm not sure where. I don't know why he finally decides to take a blind fire. You know, it's been like 3 minutes since I asked him to take the first one. Maybe 4. You know, so we wasted nearly 7 minutes doing nothing, you know, just to kill one tank. So I feel like that was kind of a whole team thing. That was, you know, I was a big play in that. But yeah, you guys just let me know what you think. I'm actually really curious to see what I should have done differently, or if I could have at all. Anyway, this game is pretty much about to end, and we do end up making a draw, but we do get a lovely mastery badge, and we did finally earn our second mark of excellence. So anyway, hope you enjoyed watching. See you all later.